This is left side of the brain. You know, I've been thinking, and sometimes you can't blame a person for not wanting to go on in this world. I can't blame a person. Now, it's one thing to not want to wake up because you haven't analyzed everything and sorted through all of the different, philosophical views of life in regards to determining whether or not any of this is purposeful. And it's another thing to not want to be here after you have analyzed and philosophically looked at everything from every possible angle that you can think of, like myself. And like I said, I figured out the physical purpose, which is to inhale through your nostrils and to exhale through your nostrils. Everybody does that. Dogs, birds, cats, humans. Unless you're a dolphin, you have a blowhole on your back. But essentially, it's the same thing for every species, that purpose of inhaling and exhaling. But beyond that, looking at it from a more spiritual angle, I can't blame no one if they are on this level for not wanting to be here. And one of the subscribers, they left a comment and they said something about they didn't want to, basically that they didn't want to continue. And when I've read it, I don't think I didn't respond to it because I said to myself, I don't want to put input into somebody's, personal life decision because I don't know what point that person is in their life. And my thing was, I hope the person is not wanting to be here because of something foolish. Or is it because they have analyzed everything and they see no point, they not getting any type of fulfillment from being here? You never know the situation. So that's why I didn't want to respond to it. But I've read it. I've read the comment. Sometimes it's a lot of comments that I read and it just makes me think. I may not react to it as much or say a lot in response to it, but I read that particular comment and I thought to myself, I said, this person has a point. And I didn't want to admit it, but a day or two later, I said to myself, I kept thinking about it and I was like, this person, he actually has a valid statement. Now, most people will say like, oh, the person is thinking like a quitter or they don't have enough courage but even with me, myself personally, it has nothing to do with that. It's like, how can I express this? It's like today, for instance. I already know in myself what I'm dealing with. Even before I open up my front door, get into my car, crank the vehicle up, I already know what's out there. And it's like I was sitting at the table eating because all day that's what I'm doing. So sometimes I know you wonder like, where does he get all this information from? I'm living and observing. That's why I speak about become an observer. And I was sitting at the table eating, and I was thinking to myself, and I said, this life reminds me of a space shuttle upon re-entry, except it's like a continuous re-entry. Let me explain what I'm talking about. You ever seen like a space shuttle? You know how they count down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then blast off and they go into space and then they do their little orbit and then they come back down and then they, like a meteorite, when they re-enter into the Earth's atmosphere, they like burn up or whatever, and then the parachute release and the shuttle re-entry and they land in the water and then they go and get the astronauts and whatever. But that's what this life reminds me of. Like, I equated the shuttle analogy to when I go to sleep at night. And then we blast off into another world. We in another dimension somewhere. We dreaming or whatever. And then we re-enter this hell. Because you know how when a shuttle, it re-enters, it's on fire again. And then, you know, the astronauts, they leave space. Like when you sleep at night, you go into another space of mind. And then you re-enter into this Earth's atmosphere. So every night I go to sleep, I escape this realm, never knowing that whether I'm gonna wake up or not. But then I re-enter into this Earth's atmosphere, i.e. the human prison bar system. And then I wake up, we do it all over again, then we go to sleep, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we blast off, and then we re-enter the Earth's atmosphere all over again, and the cycle repeats itself. It's like a continuing cycle. It's nonstop until we take that final launch, which we don't come back from. And I was saying to myself, you know, that's basically what it is. It's like a launch pad re-entry over and over again. And like a person like myself, you get to the point where everything, you don't look at it the same like everybody else. Remember I spoke about that state of awareness, being able to see, and then you looking at everything microscopically. And it's kind of a blessing and a cursing. I'm not going to say a curse. It's a blessing, and at the same time, that blessing, it gives you the blessing to be able to see. In another aspect, it gives you a nihilistic view of everything. And you like, what is the purpose? Like, I already know, I figured this out. Like every morning you waking up, and then you get to the point where you just feel like you on a treadmill. Even if you are making advancements in your life, even if you are still working towards your goals and everything, it still get to the point where your accomplishments, they don't have any value in them because you see the bigger picture. So your accomplishments, they don't feed the void of I don't want to be here, because you still realize that, yeah, I did this, I accomplished this, I'm still working to own my own business and this. But even still, when you have this type of knowledge, nothing else can suffice. You get what I'm saying? Because once you reach this realm, like on the left side of the brain channel, nothing else can suffice or replace knowing the reality of everything. It's like everything else I experience, it pretty much feels like a a drug almost. You know how drugs take you from reality? So if I'm like watching TV, I'm just sitting there watching TV or watching something on YouTube. It's like a escape from reality. But in the back of my mind, I still say, this isn't real. I know that this is programming that I'm living under. No matter how you try to slice it, dice it, or discredit it, it always comes back knocking at your doorsteps that, yes, your eyes are open and there's no turning back. So that's why I tell people, like, when you really, really start thinking like this, and see, the left side of the brain channel is not a play toy. This thing is real. Now, once you pass the breach of them, that normal world, and then you come over on this side, is no turning back. You're going to have all kinds of feelings. You're going to have feelings of nihilism. You might wake up some mornings and not want to be here, like the comment the person had left. And let me tell you this, it's normal to feel that way. Don't feel like you are depressed, suicidal, none of that. These are normal feelings. Now, again, it's two types of feelings of despair. You have those who may feel a certain kind of way, like they don't want to be here because they lost a loved one or they lost a job. But if they had a job, they'll just be, oh, everything rainbow and sunny skies. They'll still be up and, feeling all good and whatever, still just living that regular, normal way of thinking. I'm not even speaking about that. Because you can get a new job. You know what I'm saying? You can, a loved one pass away. You can get over that eventually. What I'm talking about is pretty much a spiritual depression. I guess I'll title the video Spiritual Depression. I think I'll do that. So I'm speaking of Thank You, Spirit. That's a good title. I'm talking more of a spiritual depression when you feel lonely because when you woke up, everybody else died. And that's basically the point where I'm at. It's like when you wake up, you lost all your loved ones. They dead. And I'm at that point now. And yes, you these videos is also like a vlog. You seeing a personal journey of my own self. But at the same time, these videos are teachings as well. Real-time teachings. So when you woke up, your loved ones, they died. When you was dead, you was just like them. You was in the grave, they was in the grave. So you didn't feel any kind of separation. But when your eyes open, even if you go into crowds of people, you still going to feel alone. Because you recognize that you basically alone. Because everywhere you look around you, you just see dead people. And I'm not talking about dead people like corpses laying on the ground. I mean, like spiritually dead people that you have no connection with. And I like to follow that up by, that's a good place to be. Even though it may feel lonely. You may have, bouts of depression because of that. But all of that are symptoms of being awakened. And I'm not talking about that woke thing. You know how they got on that woke thing, how they be talking about all that woke. And we're not talking about that like Black Lives Matter and all that little These little sayings they coming up. I'm not even talking about that. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying with all of that garbage. Like those, those liberals, that little woke thing. They know I'm not talking about that. And I think y'all should know by now. Like we never saying the same type of sayings that they use. So no, I ain't talking about no woke. I'm talking about like the things I speak about on this channel. That's not what they are speaking about. So don't get that twisted between they talking about some anti-Trump woke and all that. I ain't thinking about that. Like I'm way beyond that. It ain't even about that. I'm speaking more so on just the real stuff like the secret wars, us versus them, stuff that nobody else on YouTube be speaking about. Stuff that don't other people don't touch on. So, this is why everything has its purpose and place in the universe. And this is where I come in to fill that void on this channel. By the way, how y'all like the scenery? So don't feel like you are by yourself, because as you see, I'm here with you. A soul, what we say soul, a collection of information. That's our collective. That's how we come together. So you may feel that way. And when you're feeling that way, just say to yourself, left side of the brain feeling that way too. And I had to do this video because I haven't really did a video on depression before. But spiritual depression exists. And I'm just giving you the reasons for it. Now somebody might be like, well, how can you say that? And isn't it a new life? But you got to check this out. Look up postpartum depression. Sometimes when women have their babies, they go through depression. So think of it like that, a new birth, and you feeling depressed because you leaving something behind. You know what I'm saying? You entering into a new world, and it's like, yeah, you left them, they dead. But you can't turn back, and you can't go back if you wanted to. That's why I did that video that time. Not too long ago. It was like, what was the name of that video? Go back and watch that video. It goes perfectly with this one. What was the title of that video? It was, I tried to be normal, but I failed. Something like that. Go watch that video. The one that has like the Jamaican flag. I. It says something like that. But go back and watch that video and you will be able to watch that one and then watch this one, or watch this and go and watch that video, and it'll give you a better view of what I'm speaking about. But yeah, like today, man, I was gonna do a little work today, but then because I work for myself, and I said to myself, like, I worked yesterday, long hours. So I said to myself, I'm gonna just lay down and start recording. I said, I'm gonna just meditate, think upon life, and just close my eyes and just meditate, because it's nothing else to do. Like I hear the rain coming down very slowly right now. While I'm taking this pause, I can hear the rain, and even when I'm finished this video, I'm just lay here and meditate. Just close my eyes, think about my life, just get in tune with my inner spirit. I'm gonna just get in tune with that darkness and just whatever, man. I don't care, man. Like, it don't matter to me no more, because like I said, every night I go to sleep, I don't even care if I wake up in the morning. That's where I'm at right now. I don't care, man. Because I done figured it out. I mean, I'm thankful for every day I wake up. I'm thankful for the sunrise. And so don't take it that I'm trying to like make you like feel bad or whatever, but it is what it is, you know? Like, feel however you want to feel. I'm just saying, I don't care no more about waking up. But at the same time, I'm blessed every time I wake up. I'm just here at this point, man. Yeah. Pretty much, man. I kind of feel like making this video longer, but I don't know. I'm just chilling with y'all right now, you know? Cause when I do these videos, this is my only time I can just really be me. And it's a shame that we live in a world like that. I guess I'll just talk about that some. Like, you can't even go outside your doors of your house and be free like this. Like, actually speaking it out to people, and they'll look at you like you crazy or something. So really, when I say it's us versus them, I mean, that's as real as it gets, you know? Because, you know, I know for a fact, like, I don't know nobody else on this level like myself. Other than like it's a few people in the comment section I see sometimes, like a handful of people, I'll be like, yeah, this person, yeah, they own it. They understand what I'm speaking about. You know what I'm saying? But like in my actual real life, day to day, seeing people up close and personal on the job, no, I don't see people like this. But they got all the company in the world, you know? Ignorance is bliss. So they have friends and it's just crazy, man. So I'm gonna just keep talking, you know? Shit. Like, have you ever just listened to the conversations of these people? Do that exercise. Like, I wasn't being nosy, but I kind of was. I was just doing like a real-time case study of organic portals and how they communicate. And I was listening to this dude talking to his girlfriend and how him and her responded and what they was talking about. And I was saying to myself, so that's how they be speaking to each other. That's what they talk about. That's how they conversations go. I mean, the dude, his conversation was like dumb and they didn't say anything of any substance. And I was saying, no wonder I'm not married. No wonder it's like this for me because I'm not supposed to be able to connect with these people. I can't, and it's not like they pretending to be dumb and dumbing down they communication. No, this is just how they speak to each other. You know, I didn't say nothing to them. I was just listening. I was like, wow, wow. You know, sometimes I think I can't fault them, you know, because I've said this before. Take yourself out of the picture, right? Let's say if you're still single, take yourself out of the picture and just observe the people around you. Now, say this to yourself. If I didn't exist, the world would still be going on, right? So, who they are selecting to be with and who they having kids with, they are of a different species. And I think that's for another video. Human species. Just because we look like we in the same bodies and the same, you know, amount of fingers and toes and we both got 2 ears, they are different species. And that's why they come together and communicate together and they have children together. And just imagine if you wasn't in this world and you was just watching them. Basically what you would be looking at is a world full of human chimpanzees with no higher spiritual knowledge whatsoever. So I can get with the comment that the subscriber left. Now, after thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? He wasn't too far off, you know? He wasn't off, period, with the way he was feeling. And now I get it, you know? I mean, I'm at that point now. I don't care. I mean, everything for the channel is still on and everything. As long as I'm here, the book's still coming out. We're gonna meet up the convention as long as I'm here. But at the same time, I don't care. And you should feel that way too, because this is prison. This is a human prison bar system we living in. Why should I care? Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna say hit the subscribe button, hit the likes button, add us on Instagram. Until we meet again, leave your comments in the comment section. And this is Left Side of the Brain signing out.